In the headlines, torrential rain severe Maiduguri-Damboa highway. EFCC confirms Yahaya Bello still wanted, denies custody claims. Federal government launches probe into Abuja Tremors, urges calm among residents. And on the foreign scene, Biden urges Sudan's warring factions to resume peace talks. Good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. We begin with the devastating effects of the flood, where a flood resulting from heavy downpours has completely cut off the Maiduguri-Damboa highway near Dalwa village in Kunduga local government area of Borno State, rendering the road inaccessible. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, has made the road impassable, forcing motorists to use alternative routes to their destinations. Speaking at the scene, Damboa local government area chairman Ali Mohammed Kauji emphasized the road's importance, which serves as a critical link between southern Borno and the state capital, Maiduguri. He appealed to the state government to urgently intervene and repair the dilapidated highway to ease the transportation of goods and services for the overall benefit of the state, noting that Damboa local government area is one of the major suppliers of food commodities to the state capital. A devastating floodwater struck Maiduguri last week, killing more than 37 people and displacing over 200,000 persons who are currently housed in 36 camps within the Maiduguri metropolis. Also, at least 15,000 people displaced by recent flooding in Jigawa State are currently seeking shelter in 45 primary and secondary schools converted into internally displaced persons camp. According to Haruna Meriga, the Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, the state government faces a significant challenge in resettling the victims. He said the state government has purchased food items worth over 2 billion naira and distributed to the IDPs 4 times, adding that government has been working to mitigate the impact of the floods, which affected multiple local government areas. The flooding is part of a larger issue affecting West Africa, with nearly 950,000 people displaced across the region. Meanwhile, Kwara State government has urged residents of the state to take seriously the various flood alerts, enlightenment and precautionary measures already done by the government and traditional institutions. In a statement on Tuesday, Commissioner for Communication Bola Olukoju said various agencies of the government have conducted several public enlightenment programs on flooding and how to mitigate its impacts in areas that are prone to it. The statement added that the government has desilted many drainages and water passages within the metropolis while discouraging actions that may compound the threats of climate crisis and rise in water levels. It noted that the state government will continue to lend its voice to calls for the dredging of the River Niger, which is the permanent solution to the perennial flooding in that axis. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says embattled former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, is not in the custody of the anti-graft agency. In a statement on Wednesday, EFCC spokesman Dele Oyewale said the ex-governor remains wanted for alleged 80.2 billion naira money laundering charges. The statement noted that media reports on Wednesday that Bello is in the holding facility of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission were incorrect. Oyewale, while affirming that Bello is not in its custody, maintained that the ex-governor remains wanted with a subsisting warrant for his arrest. Across the nation, the sharp increase in fuel prices is hitting households hard, driving up daily expenses and making it difficult for many to keep up. With transportation costs soaring and pushing up the prices of essential commodities, Nigerians in Lagos State are calling for urgent measures for the economic burden on Nigerians.
As the financial pressure on households grows, Many are calling on the government to take swift action to stabilize fuel prices. There is a belief that doing so could help curb inflation and ease the burden that so many people are now feeling. Residents who spoke with Trust TV shared how the rising cost of fuel is affecting their budget.
Apart from the income and all, the fuel has caused a lot of changes. So in income, let's talk about income. Talk about the monthly salary and all. If you calculate all the amounts that we spend just for transportation to the work, it has taken half of the salary. So when we just look at that, it's discouraged a lot. So what I would advise or what I would implore is that the price of the fuel should be reduced because that affected a lot of things in the community.
As I'm coming here now, I even want to quarrel with the bus conductor from Ojota down to this side. They took 500 naira from me, which is not like that before. So where I'm going to, I'm not sure of getting something from there. You understand? So it's like this time around, if you don't have anything to do at somewhere, you stay at your home because of the price, transportation price, and even these things. It affects a lot.
One concerned citizen, while speaking on the matter, expressed disappointment over rumors that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) may sell the products in dollars rather than naira, arguing that this may further drive up prices.
There should be a price that will be favorable to us, given the fact that this refinery is now in our country. We're not having to export over and bring it back to. So we're hearing some funny stories. I believe that the price should come down in a way that we should be able to afford it, right? So what they call this premium car fuel spray, whatever it is. So it should be in a way that we should be able to afford it, right? I don't like the fact that I heard that NNPC was going to sell in dollars to him first. They had to mitigate that to naira effect. So, man, I don't know. It's sad.
As rising fuel prices continue to impact fuel owners nationwide, many are seeking alternative solutions to reduce costs. To this end, compressed natural gas (CNG) is quickly gaining popularity as a viable and cost-effective option. Shamil Chandra, a leading expert in the field, explains how CNG is being promoted as an ideal alternative fuel source for vehicle owners.
CNG is lighter than air and it dissipates in the air. So even in terms of safety, CNG is much safer compared to diesel and petrol. So for those who have not yet converted, they should convert their cars immediately. The good thing about CNG conversion is that it will be dual fuel. So at any given time, there will not just be one source of fuel for your vehicle, but there will be two sources of fuel.
With fuel prices playing a significant role in the cost of living, the call for a more consumer-friendly price structure continues to gain momentum. Citizens are hoping the government and relevant authorities take these concerns seriously to ease the economic pressure.
Residents of Yahaya have been voicing their frustrations following the recent demolition of their homes. With no prior notice before the demolition and nowhere to go, after the exercise, many have been left stranded and forced to live on the streets. Our correspondent spoke with one resident, Precious, who shared her personal struggle during this difficult time. To report.
In the aftermath of the exercise, several families have been left stranded after their homes were demolished in a government-sanctioned operation. The demolitions, which have affected both indigents and non-indigents alike, have sparked widespread despair among the displaced residents. The destruction in Ilaje Ayetoro has left residents struggling to survive. Without shelter, many are forced to sleep on the streets, while others, in a desperate bid to survive, have sold off their remaining belongings to buy food. Destruction of their homes, combined with reports of arson, has intensified the community's sense of loss. The faith of the remaining residents hangs in the balance as they scramble to figure out their next step. With no clear resettlement plan in the plate and no guarantee of compensation, the future remains uncertain for those still holding up to what little remains of their homes.
It's a community of its own. It has been existing. It's a community. They have ballet, they have topple, some local government. We vote them. We have hope. Yeah, you know what I mean? And this estate you see, this very estate, is where they remove them to this place and give them this very place to stay. So why should we suddenly the man couldn't demolish that place that day. He then said, okay, let them go. They are coming back. They gave everybody here 7 days. They are coming back to demolish this place. Unsurprisingly,
place I went my primary school, my secondary school. This is the place I went everything. If they want us to go out, they should give us time. To rent house now is very expensive. This Paco they are seeing here, I know how much everybody built this Paco to live in. I know how much they build it. To build Paco, other Paco now is almost like 300,000 naira to build Paco. To pay house rent here is almost like 5,000, 6,000 naira each person. It's not fair. It's not fair. At least they should help us.
Very difficult on this. I paid 7,000 naira a month for this place, and my due has not my money has not expired, and they destroyed us. Even my landlady has nowhere to go. She is one of the people that are born in this place and brought up in this place that don't have any other place to go, and everything is destroyed. Her property, everything is destroyed. So it is very, very difficult for us.
Lagos state government should stop invading anywhere Elijah is. We want Lagos state government to leave Ayetoro. Ayetoro is an ancient community, please. And we are learned here. It's because some of our sons are not here. The likes of Ebun, you know him, the lawyer. He is one of our sons here, but presently is outside the country. We want peace in our land. They have demolished the so-called sawmill. Let them leave us here. As you see it now, almost all my people, they have been rendered homeless. Where do you want them to go? Where do you want them to stay?
Government help us. If na small money, make them carry give us. Make them arrange ourselves because we no get the place where they go.
The residents are now appealing to the government for immediate assistance, whether through financial aid or resettlement solutions, as their situation worsens by the day.
Teachers of the local education authority primary schools in the Federal Capital Territory have resumed their suspended strike over non-payment of their minimum wage arrears and other entitlements by the 6th Area Council chairman in the territory. Addressing newsmen at the end of the State Wing Executive Council meeting held at Teachers House in Gwagwalda late Tuesday, the chairman of the Nigeria Union of Teachers in the FCT, Abdullahi Mohammed Shafas, said the resumption of the strike was due to the non-response of the 6th Area Council chairman to the 14 days ultimatum issued to them. He said although the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, had intervened by paying 40% of the total sum of the 25 months minimum wage arrears to the primary school teachers, the 6th Area Council chairman has refused to pay the remaining 60% of the 25 months minimum wage arrears as promised. He added that the 6th Area Council chairman have also failed to implement and pay the 25 and 35% salary increase of the teachers, implementation and payment of 40% peculiar allowance, as well as the payment of arrears of the wage award of the teachers. According to him, the council chairman had also failed to correct and continue with the implementation of the template on the outstanding arrears of the teachers as agreed in 2022. The union therefore directed all the public primary schools in the FCT to remain closed, while parents are advised to remain guided by the development until the teachers' demands are met. The federal government has initiated a thorough investigation into the root causes of the recent earth tremors that rattled the Pape area in Abuja. The tremors, which began on the night of September 16, 2024, alarmed residents with reports of 6 to 8 seismic events being recorded. First detected at about 11 p.m., the tremors led to widespread concern due to loud noises and ground shaking in the vicinity. During a ministerial press briefing, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Uche Naji, assured the public that a team of experts from the Center for Geodesy and Geodynamics, an arm of the National Space Research and Development Agency, is actively analyzing the tremors using sophisticated earthquake analysis software. According to data from seismographs, the tremors included 3 foreshocks and 3 aftershocks, with the main seismic event occurring at 11:18 p.m., which recorded a local magnitude of 3.1 and a focal depth of 11 kilometers. The significant geological disturbance, experts believe, may be attributed to the reactivation of faults within the Pape locality, a region that has experienced similar tremors in the past, notably between September 5 and 7, 2018. To other stories, the Nigerian Air Force, has commenced the airlift of election materials for the Independent National Electoral Commission to Benin, Edo State. The development comes ahead of the upcoming governorship election scheduled for 21st September 2024. A statement by the Deputy Director, Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Kabiru Ali, on Wednesday, said the move is part of a broader effort to ensure timely and secure delivery of sensitive materials necessary for the smooth conduct of the elections. He said the airlift operation demonstrates the collaboration between NAF and INEC, aimed at facilitating logistics and ensuring a peaceful election process in Edo State. It would be recalled that the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, during a recent meeting with the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, reiterated NAF's commitment to providing airlift for the swift movement of electoral materials. On the 20th of September every year, volunteers and partners worldwide come together to raise awareness on the global mismanagement and the need to address the menace via the World Cleanup Day. Ahead of this year's day, stakeholders in the waste management sector have been speaking on solutions to combat solid waste, especially plastic waste problems in Nigeria. Neil Sampson has more.
Nigeria faces an estimated annual production of more than 2 million tons of waste, with plastic constituting 50% of the total waste generated. But according to these stakeholders, providing adequate equipment to waste pickers will help fight the menace of plastic waste, which is Nigeria's biggest waste.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. You know, most of these waste pickers that you are seeing, they are informal. They work informally. So we want to formalize them. That is why WAPAN exists. To formalize them, rebrand them, so that they can be working speakers that you are seeing. They are informal. They work informally. So we want to formalize them. That is why WAPAN exists. To formalize them, rebrand them, so that they can be working formally. So this is just an beginning. With the support of the UNICEF, they will now get at least enlightenment how they will be working with PPEs, because the UNICEF provides some PPEs for them.
Segregation. Once the segregation is done, it is about really collecting those plastic waste and transporting to a place where that waste can be processed properly or recycled by the manufacturer of plastic goods and items. That's how it works. It's the entire cycle we have to look at: the collection, transportation, processing, and reuse or recycle. That entire chain we have to look at it.
The Deputy Director, Planning and Research Statistics, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, Mesiogu, speaks on the role of the Commission in playing to help fight the issue of waste management in Nigeria.
Enabling them to make sure that at least there should be a behavioral change among the consumers when it comes to waste disposal. FCCPC is an enabler. We are actually not the one to be there, but we are bringing these stakeholders together, enabling them to put things on ground to make sure that our environment is protected, is sustained.
Reducing waste will not only protect the environment, but also save on cost or reduce expenses for disposal. In the same way, recycling and or reusing the waste that is produced benefits the environment by lessening the need to extract resources and lowers the potential for contamination. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control has shut down an illegal factory producing counterfeit cosmetic products at Benue Plaza Trade Fair Complex in Lagos State. Disclosing these in a post shared on its X handle on Tuesday, the agency said the factory was shut down after its operators raided the location and discovered various unregistered chemicals and packaging materials along with expired products that were being revalidated for sale. During the operation, over 1,200 cartons of fake cosmetic products were seized by NAFDAC. The items including mini mixing containers, unlabeled chemicals, batch coding materials and thinners were confiscated and moved to the NAFDAC office for further investigation. The agency estimated the street value of the confiscated items to be around 50 million naira.
Yes, my name is Kunle Ukiwa, the Assistant Director from Investigation and Enforcement Directorate. Now we are here in Benue Plaza, a street fair.
And to developments away from Nigeria, United States President Joe Biden on Tuesday called on Sudan's warring parties to re-engage in negotiations to end a war that has been ongoing for more than 17 months. More than 12,000 people have been killed across Sudan since the war started on April 15, 2023. The conflict began when competition between Sudan's army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, which had previously shared power after staging a coup, fled into open warfare. Biden said the RSF's assaults disproportionately harming Sudanese civilians and called on the armed forces to stop indiscriminate bombings that are destroying civilian lives and infrastructure. The United States previously determined that the two sides committed war crimes and sanctioned 16 individuals and entities tied to the war. Biden said the United States will continue to evaluate further atrocity allegations and potential additional sanctions. Finally, in sports, Nigeria's Flying Eagles defeated Water FC of Abuja 1-0 in their first training game on Wednesday. Bayelsa United striker Rabiu Abdullahi scored the winning goal for Aliyu Zubairu's side. The Flying Eagles are preparing for the WAFU B Under-20 Championship in Togo. The team started preparations for the competition last week, Thursday, in Abuja. Zubairu was appointed head coach of the former African champions last month. The WAFU B Championship will decide the team that will represent the zone at the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. And on that note, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust Television at this hour. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching.